Good morning, Gr7. This is part 2 from our revision sheet, and we have finished the literature. I just would like to remind you about the two comprehension reading. It's very important, guys, because one of them will be in the exam. So try to do them and send them to me on WhatsApp. That's the grammar. The first one, examples. Angel Falls in Venezuela is the world's highest waterfall. Waterfall here is direct object or indirect object, predicate nominative or predicate adjective. Guys, let's see first which kind of verb we have. We have this verb is. We have here is. Then I need to ask myself, is a linking verb or action verb? Yes, it is linking verb. Then we have to look for the complement of the subject. Is it noun or an adjective? If it's a noun, then it should be predicate nominative. If it's an adjective, it will be predicate adjective. Let's go to the first one. My great aunt Ruby swims 20 laps every morning. Alright, laps. Let's go again and look for the verb. The verb is swims. Swims, it's an action verb. And actually it is transitive action verb. Then it must have what? It must have object. Then it should be direct object or indirect object. So the right one is it is direct object. It is direct object. So first I'm gonna look for the verb, identify it, is it linking or action. Then if it's action, it will be one of two, direct or indirect. If it's linking verb, it will be one of two, predicate adjective or predicate nominative. Let's go to number 2. To the travelers, the tropical air felt hot and humid. Hot and humid. Alright. Look for again the verb. The verb is felt. Felt is linking verb. Felt is linking verb. Alright. So, hot and humid, they are adjective or nouns? Yes, they are adjectives. So the answer will be compound predicate nominative or compound predicate adjective. It will be compound predicate adjective because both of them are adjectives. Let's go to number 3. Michael offered Nina and me an Irish dish made with cabbage and mashed potato. Alright, so Michael offered Nina and me. Let's look for the verb offered. Offered is an action verb. Nina and me, it will be one of two if that's an action verb. It will be or direct object or indirect object. Direct object or indirect object. And because it's more than one, it should be compound. So guys, is it direct object or indirect object? Michael offered Nina and me. It should be indirect object. So it is compound indirect object. To remind you about the indirect object, indirect object is a subject complement or part of the subject complement that comes in the sentence with an action transitive verb. What kind of transitive verb? The transitive verb that is followed by two objects, one of them direct and the other one indirect. If I say, I sent her a message. I sent her a message. For example, here I will write it. I sent her a message. Alright. Guys, Where the verb? The verb is sent. So sent is an action, transitive verb, and it will be followed with two objects. The first object will be indirect and the second object will be direct. I told you guys the first thing she felt or she touched or she know, it is the message. So that's the direct. And the second object is the second one that had deal with this verb, which is her. So always the first object is the indirect object and the second object is the direct object. That's why here Nina and me is compound indirect object. Thank you. Let's go to number 4. In a backpack, each hiker carried water, snacks, and sunscreen. Water, snacks, and sunscreen. Of course, it is compound because it's more than one. But let's see first, guys, where is the verb? It is carried. What kind of a verb? Linking or action? Actually, it is action. So whatever will come after it will be, as I told you, compound direct object or compound indirect object. Here there is no indirect object because what she carried water, snacks, and sunscreen, so it is compound direct object. Number 5. Was that you in the gorilla costume? Was that you in the gorilla costume? Let's look for the verb, guys. The verb is was. Was did the past form of verb to be always linking verb. So here you, it will be direct object, indirect object, predicate nominative or predicate adjective. Actually you here, it is a pronoun, that's why it will be predicate nominative, not a predicate adjective. Why? If it's only adjective, it will be predicate adjective, but here it is noun, so noun or a pronoun will be predicate nominative. Let's go to number 6. A popular musical instrument in Zambia is the drum. Popular musical instrument in Zambia is the drum. The same idea. What is the verb? It is verb to be, is. What followed is the drum. Is it noun or adjective? It is noun. That's why it's gonna be predicate nominative, as always we know and as always we did it. Alright. Yang showed us a colorful kite and a paper lantern from China. So if I'm gonna ask you guys, what did Lang show us? You will say kite and lantern. Kite and lantern. So the verb is showed, and showed is an action verb, not linking. It is an action verb. That's why kite and lantern will be one of two direct object or indirect object. But actually, because it came the second, the first is us, so us, it is the indirect object. Us, indirect object, kite and lantern, compound direct object. Number 8. Weren't you hungry after yesterday's soccer game? Weren't you hungry after yesterday's soccer game? So it is a question, interrogative sentence. It started with this weren't or were. Where is the past form of verb to be? Verb to be is a linking verb, so the answer will be one of two, predicate nominative or predicate adjective. It depends on what we have here. Is it noun or an adjective? Hungry, noun, guys, or adjective? What do you think? Yes, it is an adjective. That's why it's very easy, and it's gonna be predicate adjective. Number 9. The author and poet James Weldon. Johnson also was a songwriter, lawyer, educator, and civil rights leader. Look for the verb. It is was. Was here the verb. Linking or action. It is actually linking. So we're gonna see what comes after it. Are all these nouns or all these adjectives? Songwriter, lawyer, educator, leader. They are actually nouns. Guys, all the jobs are nouns. When I say Mahmoud is a teacher or Muhammad Salah is a football player, all the jobs are nouns. So here it is predicate nominative, guys, or compound predicate nominative. Number 10. Every day Mrs. Zamora gives our class free reading period. Every Friday Mrs. Zamora gives our class free reading period. Alright. Let's look for the verb. The verb is gives. Gives is transitive and action verb. So what's gonna come after it will be direct object or indirect object. But we have two objects here. First one is our class. That's our class, the first one, and the second one is free reading period. That's the second one. The first one, I told you many times before, guys, is gonna be the indirect object, as we always know. The second one will be the direct object. What she gave us free reading period. We have finished two chapters, chapter 4 and chapter 6. Chapter 4 about the subject complement, chapter 6 about the clauses. Chapter 4, the whole of it is talking about four things. In case linking verb, the subject complement is going to be predicate adjective or predicate nominative. In case it is action verb, the subject complement will be direct object or indirect object. That's part 2, guys, and we're gonna continue with the next chapter or chapter 6 with next video, part 3. Thank you very much for your listening. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to send me on my WhatsApp. Goodbye.